liberty is a secondary issue, even though we want him out doing the work that he has traditionally done, that he continues to do on many, many different levels that are felt by many different people within not only the community of the Bronx, but Manhattan and even Brooklyn. So we operate, and I am so grateful that you are here today, because we are a unit. You know, me alone means absolutely nothing, even though I'm an essential tool in this legal process. But it is the umbilical cord that is tied between myself and all of you all and all of those in which this brother serves and has served, that is the most important collective. And I'm a collective animal. I've always been a collective animal. That's what I was taught when I was young, and I'll be a collective animal to the grave. So the collective is important. To me, it's important to all of us. Now, there's certain things that I can't talk about strategy-wise legally, because I don't want to, I don't, you know, we're family, but we don't know who we're talking to. So we'll keep those submerged. The next date is April the 18th. It's important for us to maintain a semblance of vigilance until that date and try to get even more people here on that date to support this brother. And the reason why the later dates are important is because we are coming into our season. And our season is the season of the sun, you know, in which we shed these coats. The weather is warm, and we have a certain energy that excites us even further to operate collectively together, and in this case, behind Brother Shaka. I'm going to attempt my very best to work out the situation and try to get these people to obtain and derive some semblance of sanity, so they understand that the best tack for them to take is to withdraw this process, dismiss the charges, and we can move on. We have to do the work that he has been doing and still is doing. Now, if that does not work, then we come together, go to trial, ultimately, in this case. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about, and at the same time express my gratitude. The next date is April the 18th. Beyond that, I and my co-counsel, a young lawyer from the Guild by the name, I can't think of his name at any rate. He's a young lawyer, Gideon, yeah. And Gideon Oliver. And we are representing a young brother who was beaten down by the police. I'm sure you've heard about it. The video was on TV, and his name is Jatik. And Jatik Reed was another victim of this diabolical system, just as Shaka was another victim. One of the things that is appalling about Jatik's case is if you look at the video, he's laying defenseless on the ground. And just as the young man whom my wife and I observed back in 2007 on the corner of Vanderbilt and Atlantic in a defenseless state, but yet these armed police officers are attacking him, beating him with nightsticks, a number of them kicking him to various parts of his body in the same fashion that was done back in 2007. So you have to ask yourself the question, was this simply a cadre of narcotics police officers who are an aberration to the force, and that all police officers are good, or is this an institutional problem? You know, I say it's an institutional problem. And it's an institutional problem because, as we said at the press conference last week concerning Jatik Reed, whether, irrespective of the motive of the police officer, whether it's a mentality of an occupation force within our communities in a colonial territory that they perceive to be a colonial territory in which they have no respect for the rights of the inhabitants, and that serves as a basis for the unwarranted attacks upon our people, or whether they could not or one or two of the officers could not buy little Johnny or little Susie an Easter suit for an Easter outfit for Easter, or whatever the reason. Let's say it's a spousal argument over jealousy. They know, irrespective of the reason, that once they engage in these unwarranted attacks, once they occur, that there's going to be an institution that will come into place that will protect them, and that will protect them to the very end, even in the courts. And it's that institution headed by Commissioner Kelly and by Mayor Bloomberg, who condones the actions of Commissioner Kelly, that allows these criminal acts in our community to go on in what we lawyers say in perpetuity. But it's up to us, and it's the importance of the collective. It's up to us to come to court each and every time our people are victimized, however they are victimized, so that we protect each other in this criminal diabolical process. That's very, very important. So it's important that you come for Jatik Reed's case, which is on again for March the 7th. It's going to be March the 7th in the same courtroom downstairs, Part B, before the same judge. And it's very important that we come to all of these cases because they're so important. We can't come to the case of the brother who was killed because he's no longer with us. If there is a civil action, I don't know who's involved in that, but and there's a trial, which I doubt that there will be. But if that happens, we support that effort. But right now, we are engaged in battle in criminal court on behalf of brothers who are fortunately still alive and have not been taken out by the police force. And one of the, if this case goes forward, one of the things that they're going to have to be able to deal with and respond to and answer, and one of the things that we're going to know ultimately, is that what served as a basis for the search warrant being executed in the first place. Now that's an interesting question because a lot of times judges just rubber stamp search warrants, but the most important part of the search warrant process is the affidavit. Affidavit that is submitted to a judge that serves as a basis for authorizing the judge to put his or her signature on that search warrant. The affidavit is particularly important in this case because it will provide us with an insight as to why, in fact, they felt as though they had a legal basis for entering that apartment. Whether, in fact, there are confidential informants that are telling lies about this brother, or whatever the reason, we'll find out when I file a motion to controvert the search warrant. The motion to controvert the search warrant would allow me to obtain the affidavits, whatever basis they use, whatever facts and particulars that they presented to the judge in order to get the warrant in the first place. So as this river flows on, we swim hard with it, and keep your eyes open, because that's what these trials are all about. You keep your eyes open because you understand how the system operates. And so I thank you again for coming. Again, next date in Brother Shaka's case is April the 18th. The next date in Jatik Reed's case is March the 7th in the same court. March the 7th, that's Part B in the new building. In the new building.
It's here?
The new building.
So-called hole of justice.
265.
Just us.
And that's what we'll do.
Also want to
I don't know what to do.
thank everybody
Just hold it.
for coming out and supporting. It's very important. But before I get into about me, this is Brother Jazz, and we're gonna pack that courtroom again in Manhattan. His case is a day in front of mine.